Okay. My brother lives in San Antonio, and all right, well then y'all understand 2 syllables. Then, don't you? Well, you're special today. I mentioned the pass just opened. Also, all the other buses, we're not the first bus to go over it, but we're the first bus to have their tops back. Yeah. We got what's the temperature reading back home?
95.
It's going to be a little cooler. And in the very back, y'all's names, just your name real quickly.
I'm Jeff.
Jeff and?
Jen.
Jen. Ed.
Wally.
Wally.
Chuck.
Jeannie. And Jeannie.
Harvey. Invisible Rabbit.
And Sue. It's a great movie. And
Doug from Maryland.
Don't mind being the blanket stewards. Right in front of you, that big box, not that one, but the other one. Again, there's 1 blanket for each row. Now, when they measured these seats for blankets, they measured them without people in them, so it may be just a little short, but if y'all don't mind sharing. And we'll take a full hour for lunch, and then we should get back here. Road construction permitting, we should get back here by around 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon. The water is really raging now. This is our rainy time of the year. And it's okay to stand now if you'd like to stand. Again, we're seeing, because of all the rain that we've got. How about San Antonio? You've got a bunch here earlier this late spring, about a month or so ago. But now you can see all around us what appears to be Spanish moss hanging from these trees. And in fact, goat's beard. Goat's beard. It's a lichen. It's a relative of Spanish moss. Doesn't hurt the trees, so it coexists. Now we can see right here on the sign on the right, Logan Pass 16 miles. We're going to have lunch in St. Mary. That's 34 miles. But we should be able to, I have 12 minutes after 10. We should be getting there in a couple hours. You know, I've been asked the question more than once, well, why should we take a red bus tour? We have our own car. Well, there's one person in that car that doesn't see anything but the road. Glacially carved valleys are bowl-shaped, U-shaped, as opposed to valleys that are carved out by water. They're V-shaped. Grand Canyon's a good example of that. Carved out these deep lakes, glacially carved, they descended down and resulted in this area as we have it today. His name is Napi. He has a name, N-A-P-I. They believe that Napi was the child of the sun and the moon. And they believe that he came down from his home and he created all that's around us, these mountains, lakes, and rivers. He created the animals and he created them. In fact, the Blackfeet believe that at one time they had a common language with the animals, that they could communicate with the animals. They still have a close kinship with animals. Most Native Americans do. And when Napi's work was completed, the Blackfeet believed that his point of final departure from the earth was going to the Sun Mountain. When we get to Logan Pass, we'll see that mountain. This road leads to that mountain. So hence the name of the road, going to the sun. We're going to see water like I've never seen it either. Because of all the rain recently that we got. Now this is Heaven's Peak Tunnel. Now everyone cover your cameras because we're going to get a little drip. Especially you can see it coming. We're going to hope for good luck. Cover your cameras. We're going to get wet. Alright. That's the one we were following. This road is stopping. Pulled his mirrors in. Thank you for that. A lot of mirrors.
How often do you hit a mirror?
I've never hit one, but our drivers have. We are on the garden wall. The garden wall is an arete. Okay? That's a glacial term, A-R-E-T-E. This mountain is carved out by the road at the top. And then over at the top of this garden wall is on the back. Never this year. Later this summer won't be a trickle. Snow bed, iron and snow bed. Beautiful. Gorgeous. And by the way, to the right, this is gorgeous enough, but to the right, this is where that avalanche down below started. This is the origin of that avalanche down below. Granite Creek, but this identifies no granite in these mountains.
Bird Woman Falls.
During the day, the snow melts those crevices at night, and the snow melts during the day, and at night it refreezes, and it expands. And expanding, now here's a good one right here. And this is Logan Pass. You can see the sign, Continental Divide.
You can walk back to it.
Oh, this is 6,646 feet. I mentioned earlier 5 different ecological zones in this park, and where we started,
Going down St. Mary's side.
started at that cedar hemlock
East
rainforest.
side.
We climbed up through a montane. We're climbing back down on this eastern side through a montane. What's called a montane. Up above tree line is the tundra or the alpine region. And then when we get to the very bottom of the St. Mary Valley, we'll enter what are called the grasslands. And where we're having lunch today at the St. Mary Lodge, it'll be right at the edge of the prairie. Now we're going to honk for good luck in this tunnel. And this is the East Side Tunnel, appropriately named. The Blackfeet weren't the only Indian tribes to refer to themselves as the people. In fact, a lot of the tribes in the West did as well. Now, can y'all all see a good angle? Can everyone see Wild Goose Island here? That little itty bitty island? That little bitty island right out front. Well, there's a story behind the naming of Wild Goose Island. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, as the story goes, there were 2 Indian tribes, enemy tribes, that lived on opposite sides of the lake. And on the right-hand side, let's say they were the Salish. On the left-hand side, let's say they were the Shoshone. And one day, a young Shoshone maiden swam out to the island. A young warrior brave saw her on the opposite side. He was smitten with her beauty, swam out to the island to meet her. Now, this is a love story. And they met, they spent the day together, they fell in love. But when they returned to their respective tribes, they were severely chastised because it was forbidden. It was taboo to associate with the enemy. And they were told that if it ever happened again, that they would be banished, that they would be exiled from the tribe. Well, it happened again. And as they spent the day together, as the day drew to a close, they didn't want to suffer the embarrassment and the shame of exile. So they prayed to their Creator that they might be able to spend the rest of their lives together, and they were transformed into wild geese. Hey, Jack. Crystallizes that snow into ice, and it continues to work its way down. We're seeing some glacier melt now. We'll see a lot of it in the heart of the summer. A lot of that's fresh falling snow. We'll get when this new falling snow, as the summer wears on, right? New falling snow. We'll see a little bit.
Oh yeah, come down here. You gotta come right down here. Yeah.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
That's not a hang glacier.
So the mountain guys made railroad Now we're in Bighorn sheep country, mountain goat country. Now mountain goat, of course, are white. Bighorn sheep are brown. They've got that curl. Male and female both have the curl, the horn. They're brown with kind of a white rump. And here this is that double falls. Now from this side we'll see
It's raining.
now when we get a little, now if you'll look up above over your right hand shoulder, you'll see that upper falls. You see it right up at the very top.
Ah, yes.
Oh, there it is.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Beep, beep.
Thank you. Here we go. More good luck. You see the sign there, it said avalanche zone next quarter mile, no stopping. So this is still pretty unstable.